Leader of the pack?
This is Northwest News Channel 8 at noon.
If you waited to get your Washington car tags, get set to wait some more. Look at these massive lines to get your vehicle emissions tested. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. Many Washington drivers are taking advantage of I-695, the voter-approved initiative that lowered registration rates. But before you can get your registration renewed, you need to get your vehicle cleared by the Department of Ecology. And today is the first day you can do that. News Channel 8's Pat Doris is live at one of the testing centers with more on the long wait. Pat?
Oh, Brenda, indeed it is the long wait. This is East Vancouver. You know, it's one of only 2 sites in the entire Vancouver area where you can get your pollution emissions tested from your car. The wait is usually about 5 minutes here. Today, it's an hour and a half. Dozens and dozens and dozens of drivers wait to get their cars and trucks tested for emissions. It is a slow-moving line, reminding this man of Russia.
Oh, yeah. Same like in Russia. They had same thing. I thought it's only in Russia, but they have it here.
Lisa Johnson waited an hour and a half here with her 2-month-old daughter, Ellie.
Long. I just had to feed her. So.
Yeah.
She's made the time go by faster, actually.
I'll bet.
I was going to leave her at home and have Dad watch it, but I thought, you know what? She probably will make the time go by faster.
But they could have done this months ago and then waited to the new year to get the car registered. But they didn't, and that's why there's a line like this. You're looking at cars that are 6 deep there, 6 across. Earlier today, just a little bit ago, we counted 100 cars. It goes all the way out of the parking lot and down the street. And even as we were counting, there are people who are getting into line, sitting there a little bit, and then driving away and saying, oh, this is a bad idea. By the way, if you're in the Vancouver area, the fee has gone up this year to $15. Used to be 11 or 12. And you have to make sure that you bring cash for that and bring lots of patience, too, Brenda.
You bet. That's the important part. Pat, thank you. We're following a very sad story. A Salem 4th grader collapsed during gym class yesterday. It happened at Morningside Elementary. Alberto Garcia died at the hospital. The medical examiner says he died of congenital heart disease. Today, grief counselors are at the school talking to the students. A hidden handgun and some camouflage may be the break police are looking for in Seattle's shipyard shootings. 2 people died and 2 others were wounded when a gunman opened fire inside a shipyard office November 3rd. Hours of searching after the shootings turned up few clues. But this past weekend, a man riding a bike through a nearby park found a backpack hidden in the bushes. Inside, a gun and camouflage clothing. It matches the clothing witnesses say the gunman was wearing. Police will now conduct tests to see if the gun matches the one used by the killer. Seattle City Attorney is planning to drop a number of charges against World Trade Organization protesters. Police arrested more than 500 people during the week-long conference. 210 cases have already been resolved. The city attorney says it wants to dismiss another 280 charges, mostly misdemeanors like failing to disperse. The city attorney says the cases would be hard to prove because of a lack of evidence. However, the city will continue prosecuting 40 people charged with felony crimes involving vandalism and burglary. Now we've learned the heads of 2 state law enforcement organizations are calling for Seattle's mayor to resign because of the way he handled the WTO protests. The leader of the Washington Council of Police and Sheriffs and the head of the Washington State Troopers Association say Mayor Paul Schell has lost the respect and confidence of his citizens, businesses, and police. They call the WTO a global embarrassment. Mayor Schell hasn't responded. As we first told you yesterday at noon, a second Algerian man is behind bars in Seattle, and federal agents are looking into his connection to a suspected terrorist. Abdel Hakim Tezega was arrested outside Seattle Christmas Eve. Yesterday, he was charged with illegal re-entry into the U.S. and eluding immigration inspectors, but he's suspected of having ties to Algerian Ahmed Rassam. Rassam was arrested in Port Angeles. He's suspected of trying to smuggle a carload of explosives into the U.S. Parents, do you know that pesticides are used in local schools? It's been happening for decades, and members of the U.S. Senate want you to know more. News Channel 8's Janelle Wang joins us in our newsroom with the details. Janelle?
Brenda, U.S. Senator Joe Lieberman from Connecticut announced some news at a press conference this morning in D.C. regarding pesticide use in schools. Lieberman says the chemicals are used at schools all over the country, including here in Oregon. Studies show that pesticides are harmful to children, and the senator says parents need to know more about its usage. He's pushing for legislation that would require school districts to inform parents when the chemicals are being used and which ones are being used. One group out of Eugene, the Northwest Coalition for Alternatives to Pesticides, says this announcement is only one step. The coalition is working to remove harmful pesticides from schools completely. We'll have more reaction, including the Portland school districts, coming up tonight on News Channel 8 at 5. Brenda?
We'll look for it. Thank you, Janelle. Road crews spent the morning clearing a landslide on Highway 101. The slide happened about 10 miles north of Florence early this morning, temporarily shutting down the highway. A Greyhound bus was traveling through when the earth gave way. Debris punctured the gas tank. 200 gallons of fuel spilled, but no one was hurt. Right now, traffic is moving again in both directions. Weather across the country goes from one extreme to the other. The Northeast is enjoying spring-like temperatures, while devastating tornadoes rip through the South and Midwest. Leon Harris shows us.
Across the state line in southern Indiana, a tornado touched down in Washington County near the town of Salem. One person was injured, several houses were knocked off their foundations, and a mobile home was destroyed. The owner was in that mobile home.
Flowed me through the wall, and I got up over there and took off over towards my mom's house.
It blew you outside?
Yeah.
Where'd you end up?
Over there somewhere.
Tornadoes also struck in Arkansas and Mississippi. 3 people in Mississippi suffered minor injuries as twisters destroyed and damaged homes in Union and Lafayette counties. In northern Arkansas, tornadoes blew off roofs, toppled trees, and down power lines. One person suffered a broken leg. In the southern Illinois town of Cambria, 6 homes sustained heavy damage as a line of storms roared through.
It was just a really, really roaring noise, and I thought a window went out, and then I just started going under my desk, and the next thing we knew, it was over. When we got up, everything was pretty much gone.
I thought the house was going. I thought the house was going.
In the Cincinnati area, the problem was heavy rains and flash flooding. Some Cincinnati streets were closed, as was Interstate 75 north of downtown. In New England, joggers took advantage of the temperatures in the 60s. Warm weather records fell in Massachusetts, Maine, New Hampshire, and Vermont. But it was snow that fell in the upper Midwest, along with sleet that turned Wisconsin highways into ribbons of ice. That caused a lot of smash-ups. But Wisconsin was one of the few places where the January weather could be described as seasonal.
Well, our local forecast is drying out, at least for a little while. Here's Dave Selesky.
That's right, but they still are seeing some showers across here. We can show this to you right now with live First Alert Doppler 8000 weather radar. Take a look, folks. There are some scattered showers around the western part of the state up into sections of southwestern Washington. Heaviest showers right now we're seeing off the north of us in parts of the Columbia River area up in parts of southwestern Washington. Also up the west end of the gorge, Hood River, Carson, Parkdale, Multnomah Falls, all seeing some rain showers at this time. We'll back on out again. And over the immediate Portland, Vancouver area. Heaviest amount of rain right now just to the north of Vancouver. And we are seeing some scattered showers now just coming up over the West Hills. Will bring some rain here into Portland and Vancouver throughout the remainder of this noon hour. Here's a look right now at our radar picture from across the rest of the Northwest. As you can see, all the way from the Canadian border south to California, we're seeing rain on the western side of the Cascades, up in the mountains themselves, and east of the Cascades. For the most part, it's some snow or some sleet coming down. And we've got some problems again with some area highways. Here's a look at the ODOT Mount Hood camera. Take it just a few minutes ago. You can see right there, 30 degrees, snow coming down, almost a foot of new snow overnight. And then down to the south of us, Willamette Pass and Highway 58 again snowing there at this time, snowing heavily right now in the Cascade Passes. So if you are driving over the mountain passes, you'll need these numbers, 800-977-6368 for roads in Oregon and 800-695-7623 for all the roads in the state of Washington. Brenda, coming up a few minutes from right now, we'll have the forecast for you for the remainder of the day and a look ahead for this first week of the year 2000. Stay tuned for that.
We certainly will. Thank you, Dave. Well, Chandra, the elephant, is getting set for her official coming out party. She arrived at the Oregon Zoo from Malaysia last November. She's been in quarantine since then just to make sure she didn't bring any diseases with her. But now she's out of quarantine and has a clean bill of health. You can see Chandra at the zoo starting Friday. The state of Oregon is getting in on the eBay craze. It's using the online auction house to sell off surplus property. You can buy everything from old street signs to traffic lights. An eBay spokesperson says Oregon is the first state to auction off its surplus property on the site. The home team made things very easy for Scottie Pippen's homecoming last night.
Welcome back, Scottie Pippen!
This was Pippen's first trip back to Chicago since winning 6 NBA titles there with the Bulls. Scottie scored 11 points last night, and the Blazers barely broke a sweat, winning 88-63. They've won 5 straight. Because of the game, we have a special 15-minute edition of News Channel 8 at 6. Then the Blazers pregame starts at 6:15. Tip-off between Portland and Toronto is at 6:30. And we've rescheduled a couple of shows because of the matchup. Just Shoot Me airs tomorrow night at 7, and you can see Third Rock at 7:30. Still to come this afternoon, Elizabeth Dole is back on the presidential campaign trail, but not as a candidate. Also an update on a deadly collision between 2 passenger trains. And it's a West Coast reunion for the only American aboard the hijacked Indian Airlines jet. That and much more when News Channel 8 continues.
They love to shop, and they make millions doing it. You just punch in the bride's name, and you get to see on the computer what has been bought. That simple. That is a good idea. Next over.
Today at 4 on Northwest News Channel 8.
News Channel 8 is closed captioned through a generous friend from Sleep Train Mattress Center. Sleep Train, your ticket to a better night's sleep.
Hey, this is Christy. Looks like love, doesn't it? Christy, she's not thinking about me. She's fantasizing about Caro's prime rib dinner.
Half-pound cut, deliciously slow roasted and sliced to order. Served with your choice of potato, vegetable, and bread, all for just $8.99.
Honey, snap out of it.
Oh, wow.
And don't forget to power up with our weekday power breakfast Monday through Friday, 6 to 11 a.m., only $2.99.
I've got to go to Caro's.
That's not an exit.
If you're a sick driver, the AIG Auto Insurance Program could save you hundreds of dollars. Call 1-888-AIG-AUTO. If you're a sick driver, the AIG Auto Insurance Program could save you hundreds of dollars. Call 1-888-AIG-AUTO.
Now, with Brenda Braxton, this is KGW, Northwest News Channel 8.
There's a frantic search for survivors after a deadly